All right. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome, 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 everyone. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to have everybody here. This is a representation of groups 1 through 5. And still, not everyone is here. I think this is about half of the people. We have about 11 or 12 people here, and that is half of the people that have participated so far since 2017. But I'm really excited to have all of you here. So the original group can share with the newest group, and then everybody in between is getting to see each other's faces. Um, I speak to all of you at different points, but some of you don't know who each other are. Some of you have been able to connect with each other because y'all were in the same group. Others of you have connected with each other through the Facebook group or through Instagram chats and things like that. So it's really exciting to have everyone here and to have everyone connect. Um, Everyone is all over the country in different places, so that's also amazing. And it's okay if you just got in because we all just got in technically, so we're just getting started. um, so we have some of the people who were in group 1 and group 2 specifically are going to speak tonight to share how the program has changed things for them and what they do as their career as a healer or someone who is in the profession of helping others, so that everybody can see again all of the different options that are available, and that there's no one way to be a healer or there's no one way to help people. So let me see, is Nicoya here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nicoya is going first. Ready, boo?
Hey y'all. Hi Angelika. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You look wonderful.
You.
You're
I'm
welcome.
so excited for you to share with everyone tonight how the
Yes.
program benefited you and what you have been doing since finishing.
So many different things were extremely helpful. I think the first thing was the workbook, period. Like that is so impressive how much information is in there. And at times when I was unsure about something, instead of looking through a bunch of different books or trying to find something on Google, you can simply go to the workbook and everything is there. So that is one of my favorite things about the program. Um, the support, if you need something, Angelika is there. You can text her, you can call her, and she will make sure that you're good. When you're first starting in your spiritual journey or starting your spiritual business or whatever, it can be stressful. So having a mentor like Angelika who is extremely supportive, always great. um, One of the major things that really changed my life was the abundant mindset versus lack mindset lesson that I learned from you. Um, I ordered a money, it was like a money abundance package of 3 videos. I don't remember what it was called. Hello?
I
Can
think
everybody
it
still hear me?
I think it
Okay.
was, yes, we can still hear you. I think it was the money manifestation bundle.
Yeah. So after watching those sets of videos and putting it into action, my life literally changed. Like, and then there was something in the video about you buying a new wallet, and like, this is your home for your money, and all these different tips and advice, and it was literally like magic. Right after I started following through with the tips from the video, it was over. I was literally in abundance, and I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And I share that with others, the abundance mindset, versus when I hear people coming in with the lack mindset, I think of the things that I learned from those videos, the mantras, the affirmations. I applied them to so many different things. And when I went and bought my first Coach wallet, it was like a breakthrough, because my lack mindset was always like, don't waste your money on that, blah, blah, blah. But it was the start of me building my abundance energy. So that's something that I really took away. I took a lot of things away from the group, but that has been one of the highlights, the money manifestation videos.
And for those of us who are here meeting you for the first time, what do you do? What businesses do you have? And where can they follow you? And how could they connect with you for services?
I am a tarot reader, and I do channeled messages as well. My Instagram is Many Moons Intuitive. Um, you can find me there on Instagram. And I just started a crystals page where I am selling crystals, and I'm building up my inventory and things like that, but that's a brand new page. It's called Koya's Crystals on Instagram.
Yes, so excited about Koya's crystals. Yes, so excited
Thank
about
you.
that. All
Yeah,
right.
so yeah, there's a lot. There's a wealth of great energy, great advice, great guidance, great mentorship, and anybody that's in the program now, it's going to be amazing. You're going to grow so much, and your confidence. That was one more thing I wanted to share is Angelika really builds your confidence up. Whether you have low confidence or high confidence, she makes sure that you know that, because a lot of us are trailblazers. That was another key word that I took away, is like, you're a trailblazer, I'm a trailblazer, we're trailblazers. And being rooted in that, and it gives you a lot of confidence. So there's a lot of things that Angelika does to build the confidence, and that is extremely important for as women, Black women, or women of color, trying to start our own businesses or start our spiritual journeys. So that was just another thing I wanted to add.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So yes, if you wanted to connect with Nicoya, you could do that on Instagram
Mhm.
at Many Moons Intuitive and at Koya's Crystals, which if you go to Many Moons Intuitive, you'll see a few posts for the crystal page, and then definitely follow them both.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I want to say hi to everybody. And I love everyone. And I'm sending out peaceful vibes and good energy.
Thank you so much for sharing and for joining us tonight. It's always so interesting to hear when everyone reflects and gives the feedback about how it has impacted them, because sometimes I still feel like I'm not sure. So
Yeah.
it's great. It's great to hear that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, you were a catalyst for so many things, and you are for so many of us. So thank you for your energy.
Ashe.
Ashe.
All right. So without further ado, we have our second speaker, who I believe, Nicoya, you were from the second group, right? Second or third group. Second and third group. But I ended up merging the second and third groups in Instagram, actually. So that's why it's like when it gets to the second and third group, I'm like, second and third group is like, it ended up being one group together. And so I believe Anna was also in that second and third group where I had started, because I usually start a group in the fall and then another one in the spring sometimes. And this particular year, for whatever reason, the group that started in the fall and the group that started in the spring ended up being at the certain point, the same point in the program later that year. And then I just merged the groups. So I'm so excited to have Anna here sharing with us, and I will let her tell you about who she is and what she does and how to connect with her.
Thanks, Angelika. So I met Angelika through my husband, Brad. I think it was like 2015, which is like funny when I think about it.
Wait, I always forget that that's how we met too.
Yep, that's how we met. Which I think you guys met on social media, right? So, but I was fortunate enough to be able to meet her in person, and it's been a very interesting journey. So when I started the program, I was already trained in Chinese medicine. I was trained in neuromuscular massage therapy. I had training in Chinese energetic medicine. What else? Reiki healing. Probably some other things. Oh, yoga. Kids and adult yoga. And so, you know, when I was talking to Angelika, she said to me, I was talking to her about something, and she's like, you know, you should just do my program. And I was like, you know, you're right, I should. And it was like, I'm like, what? You know, it was one of those things. I'm like, I'm trained in all these things, and I'm like, what am I going to get out of the program? And the main question I had for myself was like, how do I use all these things? Because everybody would always tell me you have to pick one thing. I'm like, no, I don't want to pick one thing. I want to choose it all, right? So when I started her program, I was also, I think at the time, enrolled in a graduate course in integrative functional nutrition. So it was very interesting to take her course. There's some things that I knew that I was already familiar with, and then other things that I had learned, and it was like a refresher. But the most impactful thing was I was just looking at my phone, and on my phone, on the wallpaper, it's the Ascended Masters prayer. So that in that part of the program, I just I told myself, okay, I'm going to make a commitment to put this into practice. So in order for me to remember to do that prayer every day, I put it on my phone because it's the one thing I look at every day. And when I did that, it was interesting what happened, because then I set up a little area in I think it was on our fireplace, of all of both my husband and I, all of our family members that had passed away. Right. So, so I would say the prayer every day. I would light the incense and kind of bring that energy to the entire house, but especially to the place where all the pictures were. And from that, or soon after that, my husband discovered that his father, who he grew up with, was not his biological father. So it kind of connected us to a whole nother realm of his family, right? And then there was just a lot of messages coming from, you know, my ancestors. And then my practice just started coming together. So, and I don't even know, I can't even explain how it did. It just started, like things started coming up, like, hey, here's an opportunity to teach yoga. Okay, here's an opportunity to do massage. Okay, here's an opportunity to do something that I had already been trained in. So I was basically being put in these positions where I could start using all the things that I've been trained in. And then July of last year, I had to do an internship for my nutrition program. And the doctor I work with, she's a functional medicine doctor. I did my nutrition internship with her. And when I met her to talk about the internship, it ended up being like an interview about everything that I do. And she was like, what do you want to do with all that? Like, how do you want to practice? And it wasn't so much like, you're trained in all these things, what are you going to pick? It was more like, how do you want to bring that all into this practice? And I was like, what? I'm like, because she's trained in Western medicine. So, I went in thinking that she's probably only going to want me to do the nutrition, but she was like, no, I want you to use all of it. And I was like, okay. So fast forward to now, when we see patients, she comes at it from the Western medical perspective and functional medicine perspective. And then she has me sit in and come at it from an Eastern perspective and then an energy perspective. And so every client that we meet with gets like truly the whole picture, right? And even the way that we explain spirituality, it's pretty amazing, because it's really about helping people find their purpose, right? What is their purpose here for being here? And so when we finish those 2-hour sessions, it's like our client leaves feeling like complete, that every part of them is addressed. And then they have hope for whatever's going on with them, that they'll be able to work through it. So now I'm using everything. And so one of the things I got out of the program was like to be patient and just let it happen, to be open to whatever comes up. Angelika has this way about her, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm here like, I want to do this, and I've done all these things, and no, what do I do? And she's like, what do you do? It's just kind of the presence that she has, where she creates that space to be like, what do? You can do anything, right? But to be open, to be patient, to bring in the spirituality to what I'm doing. She helped me bring it all together in a way that it wasn't like I wasn't being coached into like, figure it out, write your ideas out on paper. It was just like, just be with all of it and see what comes up. And so, some of the lessons I would get behind, and then I would catch up, and I'm like, oh, I just learned this. Like, it was like, I learned it through experience, right? And I'm like, oh, this was the next part of her program. And I'm like, and look, I just learned it like last week, because I had a patient or a client that asked for something that I had to figure it out. And so, one of the things in the program was like, I would learn something, and either I would apply it or I would learn it from experience and then read about it. So I felt like I got a very complete learning experience, right? The reading, the talking about it, and then the actual practical part of it. And just learning how to just, hey, at this moment, this is the tool I need to use, and this one, and the other ones can wait. Yeah. So thank you, Angelika, because I think you just helped me be patient and be with all of it, and just let things develop as they would.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it reminds me of, like, that was my why when I started the program, because I went through that thing too, where people were constantly telling me to pick one thing. And it was so frustrating, because every time I tried to do only one thing, I got nothing done. I'm the most effective when I'm doing more, right? So I was like, there has to be something to this. I cannot be the only person like this. And I started to develop the program as I was trying to figure out how to grow my business. And initially, I didn't know what I was going to call it. I was just like, this is going to be for multi-talented healers and misfits and creatives. And then I got more like serious about figuring out what to call it and all those things, because then I found out I was expecting with Charles Xavier. So I was like, okay, I definitely have to do this now, because this is going to give me the opportunity to like not be running around and be able to just kind of sit still and teach from Zoom while while I'm with child. And so that's what happened. So thank you for sharing that and for reminding me that like that was the original point of like frustration that pushed me to create the program. And it's amazing to just hear you share that. So how would someone connect with you, and how would they be able to take advantage of your services?
On Instagram, I'm at Restore Healthy Flow. Or you can go to on Instagram, I think it's Conscious Medicine is the IG, and that takes you to the practice page for where I work. But yeah, I think at Restore Healthy Flow is the easiest way if you want to ask about massage, yoga, meditation, and then of course functional nutrition.
Awesome. And do you do distance services, and where are you located?
Oh, I'm currently, I'm based in Duluth, Georgia. Distance services, I do teach yoga on Zoom, and I'm currently teaching yoga on Zoom and also meditation.
Yay, thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you. And Nicole,
Awesome to have you here.
in person.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think I follow at Many Moons Intuitive. I'm like, who is that? And then when I saw her, like, oh, that's who she is.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because I think a lot of times when we would have class, everyone would have their cameras off. And like there's a certain point after the first group, everyone after the first group didn't meet live as much. They had the benefit of getting recordings from the first group.
Yeah.
So it was a little different with groups 2, 3, 4, and well, 5 is meeting live now. I actually I have to. It's funny how things happen. I kept saying, I need to upgrade the videos. I need to upgrade the videos. And my computer crashed last week. And so that's forcing me to have new videos again, because I don't have all the videos from group 1 anymore. Get that. But group 2, 3, and 4 would just, sometimes there would be a point where like life is happening, and everybody would just get recordings. So you guys didn't actually always see what each other looked like, So now you're able to put the faces to the names, and it's awesome. Okay, great. Thanks again, Anna.
Thank you.
All right, so next we have Shawnee, and I'll let her, because I'll start talking too much. I'll let her talk about herself first, because I'll have too much to say.
Peace and blessings, everybody. So I knew Angelika since 2012. Completely unrelated to healing. I was working at a nonprofit. I think you were working at a nonprofit as well. Something. I don't know. But
yes.
You were still in New York then.
Yes.
And we have all the same friends. And then 2016, something called me to get a reading with her. So I did. I had a few with her between 2016 and 2017. And then I was already doing Reiki. I had already started my second company, because my first company, I worked in entertainment for years, doing events, digital marketing, PR. And I've always been very spiritual. I have so many gifts. And it wasn't until the last 10 years of my life that I started using them to heal others as well as myself, and even accept them. And so when she did the program, I was like, I want that, but I need a remix, because I also am always all over the place. I don't know how to focus. And a lot of that stuff, some of it I already knew. So having Angelika is like me to infinity power, because she just pulls out, if I have a block, she helps me pull it out personally or professionally. And now I'm in actually a stage of rebranding in the next month. So as I mentioned, I do Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher now. So I also do angel therapy. I do crystal healing. I do oracle readings. I'm highly intuitive. And I also do candle Reiki blessings. So I've always done those individually, but on November 11th this past week, I was like, let me do my first group one. And I just sent a few friends like a text message because I'm like, if I get 5 people, I'll be happy. But I wound up having 11. So that was great. And then she just helps me like narrow down and stay focused so I can get one thing done so I can move to the other one. So I'm like extremely grateful for her putting up with my craziness all the time. She is always available to text, and she's definitely like helped me to increase my client base and do a lot of personal work that helped me in my business.
Yay, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So, how can people connect with you and get in touch with you for services?
On Instagram, I'm Shani_Asha. My official website is onpointlikeastiletto.com. You can go on my calendar there, and on Facebook, I'm on Point Like a Stiletto as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So let's see. Next up, we have another New Yorker. Sometimes I think I'm losing my New York accent until I say certain things, and I'm like, nope, it's still there. And oh my gosh, should I say Dr. Terman? Yes. Yes. And that happened while she was doing this program. So imagine you're working on your doctorate and you're taking this course at the same time. That's all I'm going to say, because that just tells you how amazing she is. And if I keep talking, I'm going to say too much. So y'all, I'm handing it over to Aisha, Dr. Aisha Terman. Oh my God.
Listen, thank you. And I'm still not used to it, even though it's been over a year. So I started the program when I was in the last year of my PhD program. So I was bugging out and I needed something to like ground and center me. And so all the things that we did every week, they worked to ground and center me, right? So I think when I started, were we in fall? Did we start in the fall? See, it seems so long ago. When we started, I was in the portion, I was writing my dissertation. That's where I was. I had done all my coursework, jumped over all the 87,000 hurdles. And I was just like, at one point I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything. And I was just bugging out. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So my background is in primarily, like I've had 9,000 jobs because I have done 9,000 things in my life. Like many of us have. But my, background is primarily in education. So museum education, then formal classroom education. I taught high school. Actually, I think I left the museum. I started teaching high school right before I think I started the program. I left museum world. And now I teach at the college level and I do other things as well. So I had, just to backtrack a little bit, like all my life, I've had all kinds of, weirdness going on, swirling around, from seeing things and hearing things, but, just like, not paying attention to things. And I think Angelika and I have like followed each other online since like Twitter became a thing, and like 2000, like maybe even 9. And I remember contacting her about the course, And she was like, you want to take my course? I was like, what you mean? Of course I do. Yeah, I do. And I told her like where I was in life, what was going on, and just how like everything in my life was up here. Like everything was up here. Nothing was here at all, right? I was just a hot buttered mess, and still going to work every day, and still being a mom, and still all of the things, right? And so what the course really did for me is it really brought all of the things from out of there and allowed me to really embody what it is that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. Like I know I'm a teacher. Like I've been being told that I'm a teacher since I was like 3, and I was like, I hate kids. Why I want to be a teacher? I was even told that as a kid. Said as a kid, I was like, I don't like other kids. What y'all? You know, I'm the most antisocial social person that I know. Like I'm just like I don't want to do it, with people, but I have a great rapport with young people, or even with my college students. Some of my college students are my age, and it's just me in the classroom or now over Zoom with them. So I, you know, and I know that and part of my, you know, my life is, you know, it's about writing, and it's like all the things that that these talents that I know that I have. So I have like, you know, the physical talents. I'm a great teacher. I'm a great writer, but then it's all of the other stuff that has come along with the course. And the course actually opened me up to a whole bunch of other things. So I remember the first time where I was like, okay, I gotta practice Reiki on people, and because some other people, and so all these people were like, yeah, you can practice on me. And then after I did like my second person, I text Angelika. I was like, so is this supposed to be what it's like? Am I supposed to be seeing things? Am I supposed to be? And then, you know, she's like, it is what it is for however you do it, right? It's what it is within your experience. And so then it progressed to like, I would start my sessions and I would like just see things. I would close my eyes and see things. Sometimes I see movies of parts of people's lives. I was like, what? Okay. And, you know, I'm like, I have to keep myself calm. Like I am seeing stuff in surround sound and widescreen O vision. What is going on? And so see laughing. And so I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna keep going. And it's just how I see things. It's just how I see things, right? But it's also because I think I know that I'm also a very visual person. And so Reiki just you know, learning how to not just for myself, but on others, it just really exacerbated who I am in the world, right? So it just amplified that aspect of me and my personality. So what I've used Reiki for, besides on myself and my immediate family, I use it as an educator. I'm able to just walk into a room or turn on Zoom and just really, really manage energy really well. And it started with, I was a high school teacher when I, you know, got to the end of the course, when I finished the course, and it changed so much of my classroom. It changed, not like my kids were bad, they weren't, they were amazing, but I was able to calm them before like major exams. And then they would start asking me questions. So I would start able to have little side groups, little after school program. This is energy healing. You know, and even with the work over Zoom, being able to like keep my students, you know, calm. It's made definitely, I think, I mean, I was already like, I toot my own teacher horn. I was already a great teacher, but it has made me a super, super teacher. Like even with my observations when I'm observed and they're like, how can you be so calm and this and this? I'm like, I don't know, it's just me. But then, so that's what I've really used it for as life and world management, because it's almost like I can I can literally just shift things the way I need them to go. And I was like, you know, I had this issue like, oh, how am I gonna like write or how am I gonna do this? But since I finished the course, and also like I was really stressed. So I left teaching high school. I was like completely and totally stressed. The school wound up closing. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes along with that. But it's interesting because there was some drama going on in the building, and I actually did Reiki on the building. And I really believe that part of me doing Reiki on the building led to the school itself closing, because I asked for specific things with the energy in the building and how the energy needed to shift. And so I left the year before it closed. Like, we were found out in the spring of last year. And I was like, my whole department, we all left. And so, which was fine. And I've been able to be really self-sufficient in terms of being an educator. So for example, and also I've been able to combine my educator in writing skills. So like, if anyone watches Netflix, there's a film called Crip Camp on Netflix. I co-wrote all the curriculum for the film for Netflix and for Crip Camp folks, right? So got to work for Barack Obama. My mother is the happiest person. I could do nothing the rest of my life, but I got to work for Barack Obama. So that, and that is leading to more stuff in that realm, because like I said, I'm the most antisocial person ever. And also I'm developing my own curriculums around things that are combining like literature and history, which are my jams, but with also there's an underscore and underpinning of history of Reiki and energy healing within that work. So some stuff is brewing in the pipe, but it's also I mean, my life is so much freer. My life was so hectic when I started this program, and I was like, I can't take it. My life is so much freer, and it's not just that it's freer because I get to do what I want. I've learned how to handle things differently so that stuff doesn't bother me the way that it has in the past. And also in terms of just using energy and using scent. Like, I was when we got to like talking about oils and stuff, I was like, and herbs, I was like, yes. So that was a big thing for me too, because it's changed how I cook, and and just the energy in my apartment. And I've gotten to be really sensitive to energy in a good way. But one of the biggest things, and I'll end right here because I know I could talk forever, and I just literally finished teaching before this, and my class went 30 minutes over. Because they just have all the questions, and it's good. In February, my maternal grandmother passed away right before all of the COVID shutdowns, not maternal, my paternal, right before all of the COVID shutdowns happened. She had been sick for a while. She had gone into hospice care at the end of last summer, and I had gone to visit her right before hospice care. And, she was constantly tired. And I would say, when my dad or his sister, my aunt will go visit, if she wants to talk to me, let her talk to me. I'm not going to stress her because she's like 100, and I'm not going to stress an old Black woman. So I'm just not. So I would, send good energy to her, and she would call me every once in a while, but she was also having some dementia issues as well. Right. But, luckily, even though my parents have been divorced for a long time, both sides of my family are really close together. Like so my mom's sister would take her potato salad, all those kinds of things. So what was really fascinating was I kept saying, I think she's waiting for me to visit her before she dies, because she's getting ready to pass away. And this is like, I saw at, like I said, the end of last summer, and I'm like, I really think she's waiting. And I said, I think I need to go see her at the beginning of February recess. I'll take my daughter to see her, her great grandma. We could spend some time, and I could hang out with my dad. I'm thinking of all the things, right? And I was actually doing a workshop on that Saturday, which was right after Valentine's Day. And in the middle of the workshop, my dad called. My dad does not call me. And so I knew something was up. So he calls me, he says, your grandmother has taken a turn for the worse. And I said, okay, I will be there tomorrow. So literally I have said, I'm going to need to go see her at the beginning of February recess. This is the beginning of February recess. So I go see her. I spend like half the day with her on Sunday. And I'm sitting there, and she, you know, and folks in hospice, like, I got books on like what happens during death. Fascinating. How, like, what is it like when people transition? And I'm sitting there next to her, and she is leaving, like she is going, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do Reiki on my grandma to help her because she's about to go, right? So, and like I already said, I had seen some things doing Reiki before. So I sit next to her bed, and she's really feisty. At some point, she's grabbing on me. At some point, she's hugging me and trying to hold me close. And I'm the oldest grandchild. I'd say I'm the oldest on that side of the family. And so I'm holding her hands, and I'm just closing my eyes, and I'm saying what I'm saying. And I had never seen anything like this. And like I said, I see some things were bright white. It was as if you were looking at a line of North Stars, and they were bright white. And I was like, she is, and in my mind, and I'm like, and I'm completely at peace with this. And I was like, she is crossing over right now. Like, she is about to be gone. And I'm sitting there, and I said to her, I said, Grandma, you know I'm here. I know everyone's getting on your nerves. And I said, it's also okay if you leave, you can leave. You don't have to stay around for anybody. You've done what you needed to do. And I never ever thought I would be in that kind of position in my life. Particularly, I have older grandparents on both sides, so I've been around death since I was a child. With family members passing and having older grandparents. And I said, I know this is gonna be the last time I see you on this side. I know it is. And gave her a kiss, and like, she was only a little bit coherent. When I was getting ready to go, I took a picture with her, and I smiled, and she said, "That is the smile I love to see." Like, clear as day, as if she hadn't been, And then 2 days later, I got a call on him in the morning. My dad does not call me in the morning, and as soon as I picked the phone, I said, "She's passed," and he said, "Yes." And so, and then we went to the funeral, did all the other things, and I was there to support him because he's also the oldest child as well. So, to be able to be in that position and to be able to sit there with my grandmother and help her to, like, not have to fight to stay, because she's the matriarch on that side of the family, and it's a bunch of drama, and she did what she needed to do to stay. And I was like, Grandma, go on now. And so since then, within a week, I've had dreams where it's literally I'm sitting across the table from her having conversations. And the funny thing, really funny thing is for me, is that she and I weren't the closest. I mean, we were, but we weren't. Like, we were, it was a different relationship with my mother's parents, who like doted on me. It was a different relationship. She literally, within a week of her passing, sitting across the table from me in a blue shirt, and she brought all the women from both sides of my family to this table to have a conversation with me. And my life has not been the same since. Let me tell you, it has not been the same since. And it's just been, and I don't think any of that would have been possible without me taking this class and taking it serious and engaging in the practices every single day. Because either I'm doing Reiki on myself, Reiki on my home, lighting something every single day, in every room, something is going on in terms of, creating the space and narrating what I need my life to narrate. So I'm gonna shut up now and let Angelika come back on and talk. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, did Angelika leave us? Because we keep talking. Thank you.
Hey, sorry, my finger had slipped and I lost. Me and technology.
I know you with technology. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what just happened? I disappeared from my own Zoom. Thank you. No, thank you so much. That was so important to be shared, because I know that many people who take the classes with me have different experiences with seeing things and feeling things. And there's always that moment of like, am I going crazy? Am I the only one that this is happening to? Right. And, you know, sometimes through the process, I don't verify certain things. Y'all know this, those of you who have finished it. I don't verify certain things because I don't want you to think, just like she said, is this supposed to be happening? Should it be happening this way? Right? I don't want you to expect it to be a certain way because it could be different for each person. And not only will it be different for each of you, how your psychic abilities will get stronger or how they will begin to manifest, right? Whether you're going to be someone who is clairvoyant and see things, or if you're going to be someone who is clairaudient and hear things, or if you're going to be someone who has a combination of all the clairs, you'll find that out as the process goes, or if it gets stronger. And if I tell you that, oh, when you do it, it's going to be like this, and then it's something else, right? It will change the experience for you. So we have to let it just kind of happen. And then, you know, the other thing is that not only will it be different for each of you as healers to experience Reiki, but it'll be different every time you provide Reiki for someone else as well. Every time I do Reiki for someone, it is different from any other person that I have done it for. So every time I do Reiki for someone, I too am getting an upgrade, right? I too am having a new psychic experience. So it is difficult to say exactly what it's always going to be like for each person. And so I'm very grateful that you shared that. Very grateful that you shared about, you know, some of the amazing work that you have done, because I know that that is showing everyone else that when they are being ambitious and thinking really big, that it is possible, right? And like I said, it's only half of the people here. It's only 12 of you here, but there's 20 something people, almost 30 at this point, that have been in the course at some point. And Aisha is not the only doctor in our group. And that next year, I think I had about 3 or 4 different types of doctors come into the program. One was a chiropractor, and she was really interested in this work as far as being able to help bones. And she was talking about bone readings and bone healing. And it was just amazing what she wanted to do with it. And she's also an artist. And so when that started to happen, I would like look over my shoulder and be like, who am I? Why is this happening? Like doctors, right? Just like Aisha said, when she told me she wanted to take the class, I was like, you want to take my class, right? Because I don't know if all of you can see this chat, but Shawnee mentioned, you know, Aisha's project, Black Girl Project. I had known of Aisha because of that work. It's an account that you can follow on Instagram now. She is still doing certain things with it. But that was something that I knew of in New York as this amazing project that was helping young women with their educational process, with getting to college, having amazing conferences every year. And so when you have someone that you're kind of looking at and looking up to, right? They're in your circle, sort of, you know them, they know you, but you look up to them. You don't always know that they're looking back at you and watching you and looking up to you as well. And so, you know, that saying that goes around of like, you don't know who's watching you, and the people that you think aren't watching you are. I'm telling you, it's so true. Like the more that you do this work and the more that you stay on your path, and like Nicoya was saying when she first got on, the more that you just work on your confidence and being rooted in the fact that you are a trailblazer, the more that you will see how people will watch you for years, I'm telling you, and then come and tell you, I've been watching you for years and I want to do your program now. You know, I'm finally in a place where I can do it. And so, you know, so those things will definitely happen to you, because all of you, not only will you have services to offer, businesses that you're working on, you will also be providing teaching experiences for others as well. Some of you don't realize that yet, but you will. So thank you so much again, Dr. Aisha Turman. And just, can you tell everyone where they can follow you and how they can connect with you.
Yes, I am on the Instagram as Aisha Turman, and at Aisha Turman, and also Black Girl Project. So we're there. You're muted, Angelika.
Leave it to the person with the Virgo energy to let me know. Thank you. So we have 1 or 2 more people that are sharing tonight, and then we'll be done for this specific reunion. This is letting me know that this is something that we should definitely do more often. So y'all can hear more of these testimonials and more of the growth that can happen, the potential that can happen for you. So let's see. I see she's here, but she doesn't have her camera on. Are you still gonna share with us, Kayla?
Sure.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Let
Okay,
me
good.
just. Also, this
So
is another person that I could probably talk about for a long time. So I said her name. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let her do the rest.
Thank you, Angelika. So I met Angelika online, kind of like the same way that she said that everybody isn't always going to come to you the same way. They're going to be watching you for a while. We were in a together a few years back, and she was doing readings, and I was going through a transitory, I guess there was a lot of transitions going on with my grandfather getting ready to pass and my grandmother going through some health issues. And I kind of started, I think I also was going through my Saturn return around that time. And I got a reading from Angelika because I was in a space where there were so many different things that I wanted to do and so many different things that I was interested in. I couldn't gather the focus to kind of like figure out what it could be. So I knew that I was interested in herbs. I knew that I was interested in energy healing and just overall helping other people. I just didn't know how exactly to manifest that into anything, really, to be honest with you. So I started off getting readings from Angelika occasionally, and we started talking a little bit more and started talking mostly about different creative things that I could do to channel my energy while I was dealing with the changes that I was dealing with. And she started talking about her course. And as a person who wasn't really taught that you could have an alternative means of making money. It was interesting to me because I was raised where, like, if you're not a nurse, if you're not a lawyer, if you're not a doctor, if you're not doing something that's like publicly giving back to society, where you're being like a public servant, then you're not going to be recognized. So I thought that that was the way that I had to be also, if I wasn't working 9 to 5 or, you know, something that everybody else is so used to doing, the different trades that everybody falls into. You know, I didn't think that I belonged to any of those places. And so when I started the Ascension Healing Program, I started off with the herbs. And that's where I started to get excited. So once I started learning about the different energies of the herbs and the different energy centers of your body, learning the different chakras, everything just started to unlock for me. And I kind of left off, I stopped the program a couple times. I kind of left off doing the Reiki too. And that's when things started to really open up for me. And I started to realize that I had a gift. And it wasn't just with herbal healing or energy healing. It was also that, you know, I also get messages in my dreams, and, you know, being able to channel those messages in a way to where I would be able to understand them. And I didn't realize that this whole time that was a gift. It was something that I thought was really scary, because a lot of times the things that I would see in my dreams, or the things that would be coming, the messages that would be coming to me, would be too much. And when it came to the ancestral, yes, dream work. When it came to that ancestral realm, I didn't know how to communicate with my ancestors. And so the Ascension Healer program helped me a lot with all of that. And I'm not saying that everything is completely on track, but I've been able to definitely focus a lot more, to the point where I was able to open an online shop where I sell different products that I create. It's called Kime Apothecary, and it is something that I created in memory of my grandmother, because she was really important to me. I later made the connection that she also was a natural healer. And so once I started to channel all of that energy and all of that ancestral knowledge, a lot of things, a lot of things really opened up for me. And I'm really excited to continue to create my products in my shop. My most favorite product that I sell right now are my herbal smoking blends. And they don't have anything like CBD or THC or any cannabis related items in it. It's all just healing herbs for your lungs, for your health, for your like your overall mental health and your emotional wealth. And I think that hearing the responses from everybody, like Nakia, who just said that it had her very calm, you know, like that is so exciting to me. And that is pretty much why I do it. I want everybody to understand that herbs are healing, and herbs don't only just go in food. And it's not only tea. There's so many different ways that you can utilize herbs. And it's just been fun to experience all of this and meet so many different people from so many different walks of life. Nicoya and I talk really often, even though we weren't in the program together at the same time. And just, you know, making the connections and finding out that there's so many different people in this program who have strengths that can help you strengthen your weaknesses and give you knowledge that you didn't even think was a thing. Or they can relate to you on something that you felt so alone in. And it's just been great to find this community. And I'm just so grateful for you, Angelika, and this program, and just everybody who's here.
I am super grateful for you as well, and super grateful for this opportunity, and grateful for everyone who is here tonight and everyone who's been here. And we finally got to meet in person when I was in Jersey last month. So that was awesome. Because sometimes that? And then, you know, it's funny. Sometimes it's easy to forget that, because some of like, I talk to some of you so much, I'll think like we've met in person before.
That's exactly, I don't know why I feel like we had met in person before, but it's like, yeah. I feel like we've connected already in person. We're good. Like we've already established everything. That's so funny.
Right. It's so yeah, but that was actually, that was the first time that we actually got to meet in person. Cause like you lived on the West Coast, but like before, but I was in Cali and you were in like Arizona and Washington. And then we both like were going through transitions, and then we were both on the East Coast, but like at the same time, but not at the same time. So now we're both on the East Coast again, like at the same time. We were finally able to link up. So I was very grateful for that. And just so proud of you. You were in the second group, I think. So it's just been amazing to watch the growth. So if people want to connect with you, support your business, follow you, how can they do that?
So I'm on Instagram at indigo.kae. That's my Instagram. I also have my shop Instagram, kimeapothecary.com. Is the link for the actual websites in the bio of my Instagram. That's about it.
Okay, yay. Thank you so much for sharing. So that's actually it for what we have planned tonight. But I think that that was amazing to just, even just have 5 people share. There was so much substance and substance that came from that. But I want y'all to know that the rest of you that are on here, there's still several of you on here that also have businesses. And so I'm going to send out a list of all of the IG pages so people can follow each other. Nikita is on here. She's also another one who, like Aisha was saying, social but not social, like then Shawnee said introverted, right? A lot of us are like that, but it's okay. But Nikita has Nikki B Specialties. She does products as well, some herbal teas and some other amazing things. So check that out also. And then some of you are in the process of getting your businesses together now. So I'll be, sharing your handles for that as well, so everyone can support and continue to uplift one another. And then there's a few of you on here that are readers. So I definitely want to shout out the readers that are here. Let's see, we have Atia, she's Golden Goddess on Instagram. Kelsey's Miss Cloud. And don't worry, I'm gonna send all of this to y'all. And Nakia is Hi Cat. I forget how many eyes, but it'll be right when I send y'all the list. Okay, so does anyone have any questions or anything they want to say before we log off?
I have something to say as usual. I always have something to say. I just want to say thank you to all of the women that's come on here. It's really helped me with my confidence, just looking at the variety of people and all the things that y'all have achieved. And it's really showing me that it's okay. It's okay to be scattered. And the point of doing this is to get to a different place, and that is possible. A lot of times I think of myself, I'm like, oh, I've been here and I'm doing this and this is going on. How can I possibly, become this person that I'm looking to become? And just seeing all of these different people and ladies with 5, 6 different certifications and degrees already still benefiting and still getting to a higher state, ascending, just like the name of the program. It's really been helping. I turned my camera on so I can drop a few tears. But this really has helped, and I really would like to see more people, because image is a lot for me. I'm very visual too. When I see it and I hear it, and I'm affirmed, it lets me know that I can do it. So thank y'all, and thank you, Angelika.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, even when we think we have arrived, whatever that means, even when you're in a place where, like this, talking about myself for a second, I get dragged. I still get dragged by life, and it crossed my mind last night. I have different themes that I use, Ascension with Angelika, Abundance with Angelika. I've been thinking about doing adventures with Angelika. That was kind of crossing my mind, but it wasn't sticking to do it. But it hit me, I think yesterday, that's because I don't think it's supposed to be adventures. I think it's supposed to be, at this point, adversity. because sometimes we think we get to a certain point of quote unquote success, right? And then life is smooth. No, right? And, I think there's been different times in different parts of the program or in different parts of when I'm coaching people. And, I'll say things like, even Oprah, even Deepak Chopra, these people that we feel like they've arrived, right? They have challenges. Their challenges are different, right, from what we may deal with, but no human being exists without lessons, without challenges, without conflict, without dilemma. It's just a part of life. I don't know how many of you follow, gosh, what is his name? Return to Healing. Kayla, you shared one of his posts with me today. Is it Return to Healing? On Instagram, he posted something today, and I always love what he posts because I feel like he says things that sometimes I want to say or that I'm thinking about saying, but I can't figure out the best way to articulate it without sounding like I'm from outer space again. And he's able to take these concepts that are sometimes very woo-woo and mystical and make them sound very grounded. And he was talking about just the concept of the fact that we have to accept that just as Return to Self-Healing on IG. Thank you, Kayla. Just as we are healers and we are peaceful and we can spread joy and we're joyous and we're creative, there will always be the opposite of that, right? There's only light because there is dark. There is only good because there is evil. So anytime we catch ourselves feeling like, oh my gosh, this person's so evil, really it's like, okay, well, it is what it is, right? Even if we do work that helps other people change or helps other people grow, there's still always going to be the opposite side of the spectrum. And we have to remember that, especially in the midst of chaos, especially when there's so much happening in the world that doesn't make sense and the illusions are crumbling and the matrix is crumbling. We have to remember that just as much as there is seriousness, there is silliness. Just as much as there are things that are aggravating, there are things that are invigorating and inspiring. And we can't let ourselves be pulled completely in that direction that causes us to just get caught up in that, right? So just remember all those moments where you feel like, am I doing too much? Am I doing enough? And just be. It's really about being and releasing the idea that we constantly have to be doing and that we constantly have to be a certain way. None of that is necessary. And everything will happen anyway. That's supposed to happen in its time. Because time is an illusion anyway. So you have all the time. With that said, I love y'all. I'm probably going to cry later because I almost cried when we first started. So I'm like, wait a minute, this is, oh my gosh, right? So I don't really have words. I don't really have words for what it feels like right now to just see all of you here and hear everything that you all had to share. But again, this definitely lets me know that we need to do this again and not wait for another 3 years when we're at group 8 or whatever group we're at by that time, and do this again soon. So I love y'all. Rest well. Good night.
Good night, Angelika. Love you. Thank you for this.
Love y'all. You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
You.
Love you
Good
too.
night.
Get some rest.